They even arrange him go court. When they carry him go meet a bit good for court, they see use something cover him face. They see use chain put for him hand. Before Bintanyaku say, make una comot that thing for him hand because he don't enter court. So we no go forget our leader, and it is the anger that they kidnap our leader that makes us to become monsters.
More radical.
Yes, that makes us to become demons. So the demonic spirit of Biafra in us will continue to increase, and it will continue to multiply by becoming spontaneous. Becoming spontaneous in the sense that as it becomes spontaneous, it also becomes contagious. When it go come reach you, na so the virus wey dey comot from us because of Biafra dey reach you, na so the thing go contact you, you go carry the virus of Biafra. So na so e go dey be o. So we thank the existence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who made himself available for all of us to come to understand that we have a reason to fight for freedom and to understand what Biafra is all about. Then we cannot forget our eternal leader who laid the pace before we came to be. And then we can't forget our former president of Biafra, Philip Effiong, who also made his own sacrifice during the genocide of 66 to 70s, fighting side by side with our eternal leader. We wouldn't forget our gallant men and women that actually sacrificed their lives and everything to make sure that the entire humanity in one Nigeria were not massacred in January 15 of 1966. It wasn't an Igbo coup the way they have portrayed it to you in schools and in your school curriculums and in your history books. What happened is that it was a coup to expunge jihad, a coup to expunge the terrorists, a coup to cut off the criminals and everything that you see today that is not working well. The underdevelopment and the bipartisan politics that is being played were all happening in that time. This same jihad that is staring everybody to the face, which made Azikiwe to run away to go and enjoy himself in the Caribbean and in Canada as at then, is the same thing that is happening now. So it is like a revisit of what happened that necessitated the coup of 1966 that is revisiting Nigeria today. Today. So it's like a rebirth of what happened in 1966. There is nothing different from what happened then that is happening now. The only thing that you can see that is a kind of difference is that our leader was kidnapped all the way from Kenya with the connivance of UK and Kenya and OAU and every other criminals of international communities. That is the only thing that I see that seems to be different. But every other thing are the same. The kidnapping, the massacre, the raping, the cutting of heads to pieces, the annihilation of people, the dissolution of people in their communities, the conquest agenda of jihad, the shutting up of mouth of the religious leaders. When you see all the governors becoming warrant governors, it is the same thing that happened as at then. When you talk of 1929, when you heard of the Ava Women Riot, all the men that we had that were serving in principal positions, like the chiefs, the governors, the ministers, the senators, and like this Ohanes and Shiso, every king's men that were serving, they all became slaves to the colonial masters. And so their hands were tied and they could not do anything because they give them money, they love money, and then they sold out their prestige because of pot of porridge. So our women were now left with the option of fighting back. That is how you got to hear of the about women riot. When our women now were levied with a huge sum of amount to be able to haulage their gari from Calabar to Abia, from Abia to Enugu, from Enugu to Imo, from Imo to Akwa Ibom. Gari o, what of yam? What of beans? What of plantain? What of cocoyam? What of pumpkin leaf? What of water leaf? What of a bitter leaf? So all this evil that you see that is happening today, they had happened before. Men were like this. They usually go to tie their mouth and everything because they will all be behaving foolishly then. That was what made women now to say, if we suffer in the kitchen, we suffer and then toil take care of the belly of the house. When I mean the belly of the house, the belly of the father, the belly of the children, and the belly of every visitor that visits the house. That is what we grew up to see according to our culture. When a visitor visits the house, it is the responsibility of our mothers to think and know what she has to put on the table for the visitors that have to stay for how long they have to stay. And yet, these our mothers will also still take care of our fathers in bed. That one is private taking care. That one is not for children. You know, say we old men here, so we no go discuss children talk for here, so that children no go spoil. We no want spoil our children. So our papa and mama that time they went through a lot. Till our mama now decide to do what? Fight back because when they saw that our papa their hands were tied and they could not do anything. Our mama them had to fight back. That is how you heard of the about women riot. That was in 1929. Oh. Now coming down from 1929, 1935, 1940, 1945, coming down to 50, 56, 57, 58, and then 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Before you enter 66, where you heard of the genocide, there were a series of other genocides that were coming from that time down to 66. It was because of all what was happening from 29 down to 66 that made our gallant men and women in the army to say, we cannot fold our arms and see how everybody are massacred in Nigeria because of jihad, because of corruption, because of all the criminals in power. That necessitated the coup. The coup was not for a section of the country to favor. No, it was for the generality of everybody in one Nigeria. You had the Hausa military men in the coup, you had the Yoruba military men in the coup, you had the Igbo military men in the coup, you had the Bibio, you had the Gala, you had the Robo, you had the Shekiri, you had even the Fulani, you had everybody inside that coup. But because of the hatred that you, as a Biafran, you can never, ever do anything and then you will be reckoned on in one Nigeria. That is why they decided to turn it against all of us. Because of the fact that no matter how you try to better Nigeria, it will always come back against you and it will always come back in turmoil. Because the hatred of 1900, when Britain forcefully amalgamated Nigeria together and then left power of dominance into the hands of the Fulanis, has ever been there. So the power was supposed to be in the hands of Fulani so that you will remain slave in the hands of the terrorists till you die. But you know what happens? In this very dispensation, we have to change the story. That is why our Mazi Ugo, Minister 247, have titled this broadcast, Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, we are going to explain to you what it means. What it means is that in the beginning was the world, and God created Biafra. And then he brought forth Ojukwu. And then Ojukwu brought forth Nnamdi Kanu. And then Nnamdi Kanu brought forth Simon Ekpa. And then the ordinances was go and achieve Biafra. In your own version, it is like this. Go and multiply and exploit and take over the earth, right? We are giving you Biafra version. Biafra version is Simon Ekpa, as Nnamdi Kanu translated into you, go and multiply and achieve Biafra. That is the part of the Bible we are preaching today. Why are we preaching this part of the Bible? Because we are yet reading Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. And then we see that some people are crying the cry that were depicted in Exodus. When we have not even gotten down to Exodus. We are still in chapter 1 of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 1. Then we see Musa crying. Musa is crying that the fulfillment of Exodus is already happening in Nigeria under the auspices of Mazi Simon Eba, our Prime Minister, through the creation of the Biafran Republic government in Israel, which God in heaven created from the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. So we are asking the question, why is Musa jumping from Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 to Exodus? When we say we never even finish read the first chapter of Genesis, finish. Why? Why? And then we saw senators inside the Senate crying that the firepower of Biafra is making them lose their senses. All these are things that are happening in the book of Exodus. Whereas we are still in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. You also saw Iberibe, Abaribe. He was also crying with one other senators. We want one Nigeria to grab Simon Egba, to bring him back to us and sanction him and lock him up in chains. We want Nnamdi Kanu to be released on a diplomatic and a political solution. These are all in Exodus. We did not open the book of Exodus for them. We saw Ojus Okano. These people have dealt with us severely. All of us in this Senate, all of us senators from the Southeast, we have been victims of these people. They have dealt with us. We never reach this chapter where they don't jump go ratio. We see there for Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. We never do the recitation finish because we are still practicing of how to get used to that Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. Only verse 109 we did the work on for the past 6 months now. And yet they are already jumping into Exodus. So please, we want people to also help us to ask them, why are they jumping into the book of Exodus? When Biafran Republic government in exile, under the leadership of our indomitable PM, the Ikpoki of our time, the Obato Obie, the Itiade Kondo of Biafra, the stone that the builders rejected, which became the chief cornerstone, that no other person can sit on top of the stone because the heat that is coming out from the stone is so unbearable that you cannot even get close to the stone. This is the man that they all mocked and called all sorts of names. But today, it's the man that they are all running into the abyss. Why? Please ask them the question because we did for Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the world, and God created Biafra, and he brought forth Ojuku, transcended into Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave birth to the monsters that now brought forth Simon Ekpa. And then God gave him a mandate and said, go ye forth and make Biafra to come. Deal with the enemies of Biafra. Those that have massacred you in the name of Operation Python Dance, those that have massacred you in the name of Operation Odoka, those that have massacred you in Operation Golden Dawn, go and deal with them and exploit, and then make Biafrans to smile again while we get Biafra. They are crying. Please, Mazugo, I beg, carry mine because now only Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, and we there. I don't know why they jump go reach Exodus.
Hey, where do you want me to start now? Do I start from Genesis chapter before 1 or chapter after 1? Where do I start? Well, I greet you, BIAFRANS, anywhere you they look us from, they see us from. I greet you all. Thank you for joining us again. We must remember that the battle continues. If you listen to the begin from the beginning, you go hear the voice of our leader. We say we there for the time will be critical moment. We be say many things that happen. Ada Biafra, we see your hand for up. How you dey? So you go hear him tell you say we have to change our system. Excuse me. And just last week, like we know, I played that video where our leader with the Mazi Simon Egba do, where Simon Egba, our prime minister, Obato yeah, that name where they vex some people. Obadobie, na be the only thing wey make me like Adadorama o. Na only that name wey e dey call. E sabi call am well well. And if e dey call am, she dey call the name with all her heart. If say she go love me with all her heart like that, e for good. That is by the way. So, if you listen to that interview, you go understand why our prime minister dey where she dey now. Where he did now, because everything where he ask our leader there, na me they do. And you go still hear some people telling you that he is not doing it right. I want to ask you a question. Those who begin to ask for political solution from Buhari to this time, where they don't disappear. Oh. They don't disappear. You there for Kuwait. From Kuwait, you fly, you go Italy, fly, you go Switzerland. They fly up and down. If they switch you, you know they fly, go your papa house. We must know that everything we are doing, we must continue to do it very well. We are not looking at anybody's face or eyes or mouth. If anybody want to cry, make that person they cry. As long as what you are doing is the reason why your enemy is crying and lamenting. My brother, more fire. We go dey put fire, we know they look back, we know they look face. As long as our PM say fire, fire no look back. You see why we are sitting at home, why we are doing anything, everything we are doing is because we have our prime minister who is directing us, who is piloting this movement. And I want make we understand that the Mazenam de Kano that has not been released is because we have not done much enough. As you see them, they cry now. As you see them, they cry now. If we fire more, they go cry more. A time will come that they will beg you. A time will come. Forget whatever anybody may say. What you are doing, waiting you they do the matter. The matter, and they don't stop. Continue. If they can go about social media, news media, they are no longer hiding it. It's no longer secret. No be secret now. If na secret, Musa for no content you say somebody will be wey we don't see am with the terrorists. The for no content you say na be the big elephant. You know, say that big elephant get many meanings. Anyhow you put hand, put mouth, you go explain tire. Many things are going on. Nobody is speaking for you. Now you, with your own mouth, go speak for yourself. Speak for your children, whether the one where you born, whether the one where you never born. Now only you could do them. Nobody could do them for you. Be it anybody. Nobody will fight your battle for you. We must take our freedom by force, with every force, no matter what happen. It's not whether you listen to this one or you listen to that one. The important thing is that we must continue to fire all the silencer, double fire, the fire they go. If you listen today, I think we'll go still watch that video. That boy that was kidnapped, he escaped. Funanis are not kidnapping youths to keep them or to ask for ransom. When they kidnap young man, they go cut him head, comot. They no need money. Na only when they kidnap old men, na im they demand for money. That boy testify. We go still hear am. So whoever dey now wey never know wetin dey happen, I dey sorry for that person. And some useless people dey social media, their own na to use every small thing, they go use am dey make news. E get one news wey somebody send me, say our PM they kidnap am for London, he escape. Just because you want to, we are asking for freedom, you are looking for money. We dey look for a way to bring freedom, you dey look for a way to make money. When Biafra come tomorrow, all of you na Biafra warrior, social media warrior, na im all of una be. Don't worry. We must to keep fighting, no stop. Anything you know you go do, do. No be today this thing wey we do. Anything happening now, no be today wey e start. E don tey wey e start. E dey surprise me that people that were born before Nigeria were born or were created are still fighting to keep something they are older than. They surprise me. Somebody that were there, you saw the train loads of people coming from north, beheaded your brother, beheaded your sisters, beheaded your children, beheaded. You confessed with your mouth that that was why you joined the war. What happened? What happened? Have they stopped beheading you? Look at the Lopanta. After Oti discovered what they were doing there, they give him mandate. You must return them there. This is the same Oti that say he is going to build the international market there. Where is international market? Because Funani said to him, you must allow the cattle rearers to remain there and sleep there and continue to massacre people there and bury people there. Under 24 hours, over 150 beheaded bodies and decomposing bodies, minus the skeletons found there. In Anambra State, the same thing, anywhere you find something, they go cover them. Nobody, no investigation. Look at common north. Now for inside, go and watch that video. You cannot see a single house, even thatch house that was bombed, but they have raised up to 500 billion naira just to go and build a city for the Funanis. And the same Funanis are killing you on the farmland of those that they have chased into IDP camp. They are angry because Mazen Nandikalu refused to sign paper for them to come and chase you out and build IDP camp for you while they take over your land. We must wake up. Abaribe is not representing you. None of them, whether Iwanyanwo or Governor Imo State Governor, all of them, Anambra, all of them, none of them are representing you. The Oluwalemba last weekend, kidnapping happens every day. It happened there. He doesn't fight that. That one no concern am. His problem is stop Biafra. Don't release Mazen Nandekalo. Look for Simon Ekpa and kill him. Stop sit at home. If you the only man that opened his gutter mouth to tell you that sit at home is illegal. But he cannot say that Funani is in his environment. Kidnapping people is illegal. He cannot mobilize or organize a Operation Python dance 1 or 10 or 20 or Operation Golden Dawn to go inside the forest and hunt those Funanis. But he will look for you anywhere you are to kill you because you sit at home. Sit at home, continue sit tomorrow. Thank you, Maze.
I say battle cry. Carry the mic. Today na talk based on what you see that is happening. A lot of things are happening, and you just have to pick what you see that is happening. If you don't know where to go, I can give you a lead, though. Do you know where to go? I mean, what might give you a lead?
There is a question I wanted to ask yesterday when PM was online on Twitter. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
That was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
That time I did verify. I know they
Oh,
for
yeah.
where I join.
I joined the Twitter and there are so many hands. It not gets to my listen to ask. He asked when how no he was analyzing how Michael Zekome and Jovo took the case of Mazen Nandekalo from Bit and Yekon to Supreme Court, from Supreme Court to Appeal Court. Now they are reversing it back to uh, Bit and
High
Yekon.
court.
Where?
High court now.
Okay.
Bitanyag is going back to Bitanyago court again, the lowest court.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. So that reminds me, either earlier this year, when Canon Dakalo tweeted that somebody among the solicitors that are representing Mazin Nnamdi Kanu persuaded Onyendu to plead guilty, to enter guilty, and Onyendu said no. I keep asking myself, I think that Twitter should still remain in his own Twitter handle. I keep wondering who among the legal team should brought this suggestion, if not Ejiofor. Because from what he's doing, his legal Maradona way, it's like this chameleon. From that is it's just like what that dead Buhari said that we are moving from up to bottom, up to bottom. That's what Ejiofor is doing. So Buhari left that legacy of legal manipulation or legal malpractices for Ejiofor to be, driving up and down. This is what the Ejiofor is doing right now. From Bita Nyokon to Supreme Court, from Supreme Court to High Court, from High Court to Bita Nyok again. That's why all of them they came out and said they are happy with their Supreme Court. Whatever Supreme Court said goes. Said that, and he was laughing, putting hand on the top of a woman. You see. So now, what PM said yesterday is evidence of what Cameron Takalo tweeted earlier this year. I will go and look for that Twitter and bring it up. He said, somebody among the legal team persuaded Onyendu. Now tell me, so what Ejiofor desired another legal team that might be working or loyal to him, desire to see Martin Nanikalu nailed down and sentenced to prison, and everybody will forget him. I don't know where our people is going. I listened to that is it fraud? Because that one I can't call him Ahmed again, answering president of Honest Education and Dam. Just relax, just scatter share. Was saying, rah, rah, rah. You don't know what Nandekale is doing there. Nandekale should not be detained. Just soft words, but come and hear the Janjaweed in the north. Once somebody come up to say one thing, you will see thousand join him, back him up, start, fueling the thing, fueling the. But our people, elders, when they talk, they just put their face on the ground was talking. Who are you afraid of? Your own fellow human being, a Janjaweed, somebody who did not go the level of high academic school that you went to. You are scared of him. Somebody who cannot think as you are afraid of him. When you talk to him, you should look him eyeball to eyeball and talk to him. Even if he was in the studio you are, they set a microphone to you. Look at the camera eyeball to eyeball and talk to the people. Tell them what they should do. This is not the time of talking and looking down words. I mean, this is mad. Yeah? Our people said, okay, ana no no ego ana monobo. No one ekume ano na ebere se na ntị awore. But the men children of nowadays that the one doing things, pushing things, elders are cowardly. Call yourself a president general. He cannot do you just there scatter the share was just talking. no teeth from the voice you are talking, no brutality, no command, no audacity, no tenacity, nothing. You are the kind of conference you hold. I don't know the channel television that he was talking to. The kind of conference you hold. Do we still have an elders? No, we don't have. We don't have. So now, what we are going to do is to give these people heat. We have to steer it up more, steer the gear more, steer it, just turn the funnel of fire so that it will be more heat. Because our people said, "Anobayajoso, abayajegbe." No, somebody said that if he said he cooking something that cannot be done, then a visitor will sit down, till eternity, until what the owner of the house is cooking is done. He will not go. That is how the game will be like, because we have given these people enough time. We have given them time to change, to repent. They still don't want to repent. Some of them have even shoe CCT smell that unless they serve the zoo, they will never be human being again. They have made up their mind. Yeah, I think whether it is an oath or covenant they took, I don't know. The legal team is cowarding. The Ohanese are cowarding. Spiritual leaders are cowarding. Everybody is cowarding. They see us as a talkative, whereas things are going on wrong. Today, I saw one video. Fulani people kidnapped 3 people who went to do sacrifice, kidnapped them and carried them. The other one took bold of like a lion's step and escaped. And Ohanese cannot see this kind of thing and talk. Spiritual leaders cannot see it and talk. But if it is something that is happening in maybe Palestine, Gaza now, the northern leaders will rise up to fight for their own cause of their religion in another country. But this one is happening in your own domain. In your own domain, your children are being kidnapped. You cannot talk. The other one that harvests children and kill, leaders cannot talk. No elders can talk. Nobody. What have you done to these people? What have we done to deserve? Because when they go to Asorok and they happen to be appointed with one smaller minister or something or post in the government house, the first thing is to acquire for security measure, maybe to grab 2 or 3 bopo to be guiding them. Any other person can die. Any other person can kidnap. Any other person can go to hell. They don't care. So when they see or heard that maybe a little child or children are being kidnapped and put in one room and leave them shirtless, no cloth at all. When they see that kind of thing, they cannot talk because it's not their children. Their children is schooling abroad. Their children is safe. No problem. Hi, my God. Something must be done, though. We are going to give these people heat. The kind of heat we will give them, they will know and they will bow. Thank you very much from here.
Thank you, Wachineke. Is that Biafra there? That Biafra, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, carry the mic, please.
Okay. Is it on the same topic as battle cry?
You just have to.
Are you giving me any? Are you giving me any guideline?
Shatter. No, I'm not giving you a guideline. No, shatter everywhere. Just shatter.
Okay. Thank you, fellow BIAFRANS, once more. We all know that Biafra is our religion, and we must evangelize and we must speak on for the world to hear. We are no longer crying. Now we have got what our assailants have. Most of the time, they speak from both sides of their mouth that they want peace in Southeast. But none of those things that they're saying is true. They don't mean it. They have infiltrated Biafra land. And it's not now. They started long time ago. I remember when Onyendu was telling them, Fulani is coming, Fulani is coming. But nobody listened. You know, in terms of this Onyendu's hearing, you people will not be surprised to know that Barrister Ejiofor and the governor of Imo State, the rest of them, they are the reason that our leader is being held. But why the government is a very good accomplice in this situation is because that is their ploy. They are the ones that sent the governor. So they are working hand in hand. The other day during Onyendu's hearing, I didn't even know. I went somewhere in one ministry. When I finished, I was just having cafe in one shop and my phone rang. And there's somebody who knows me very well. He said, "Oh, Betty, I'm sorry they did not release your leader." I almost collapsed. I said to her, "Well, I am not surprised, but I am saddened because of Onyendu's health. You people know how they have been dribbling this Onyendu's case. Somebody like that Barrister Ejiofor, during the hearing, I saw him smiling as if he was in a Christmas party. And he was walking down to Barrister Ezekome. And what beats my imagination is that these people don't throw what we call legal punch. Because Supreme Court, no matter how supreme they think they are, they have no right. They have no jurisdiction over Onyendu's case based on the way he was returned. He was extradited to a country that would torture him. And they didn't go through the processes of extraditing someone. You people know what's his name? Abba Kyari, when America asked for him to be extradited to America. They went through the process, but Malami and Buhari refused. So the government is no longer holding Onyendu. The court is no longer holding Onyendu. It is his barrister and the governors. Because the hint I heard was that the governor of Imo State wants Onyendu to be there until he is sworn in. And that he bought this barrister, new latest Lexus. You know, there's no smoke without fire. When all this kepu starts, you will know that something is really cooking. And this goes to show you people that we no longer have proper legal practice or the judiciary in Nigeria. We have Sharia court because it is only Sharia that works opposite the legal process. When the appellate court, which is the high court, the three competent judges decided that based on the fact that Nigeria breached national and international law, that invalidates Onyendu's return to Nigeria. That kills the case. So for them to tell you now that they are going back to court, going back to court over what? You people saw when Anyako kept reducing all the count charges against Onyendu. So how can court be fighting against itself or making a decision that will run against itself. The court will say that Onyendu has no case. The same court will come back to tell you that they will start the case all over again. It is impossible. It is impossible for that to happen in the legal process. In any country that you have sane men and women, people who have knowledge of what they are doing, this cannot happen. Once High Court said that the court in Nigeria has no jurisdiction, it has no jurisdiction, whether supreme, local, junior court, high court, lower court, any court, they have no jurisdiction. That is the end of the story. Because the Supreme Court also confirmed that going to Onyendu's house during his bail term, because when you have your bail, that term has to be completed before you come back to court. They went there to kill him. The Supreme Court said, oh, it was illegal. It was bad. Have they condemned the military that went there? They didn't. He also said that the way Onyendu was renditioned and tortured was not good. So what else is he going to decide again? This will show you people that it is our people. They are robbing each other's back. Even somebody like I'll call you back. Even somebody like Ezekome, I am very surprised at him that he cannot there and then remind the judge the way his client was brought back and what High Court said. They just walked back, came out and was telling us, oh, we are happy. Happy about what? It is because Onyendu's case is making them become legal superstars. Because we don't even know some of these barristers prior to Onyendu's case. You know? So my people, anybody who is working using the other person as a shield, that shield has to be unmasked. They have to be unveiled. But we don't need to unveil them. We know who they are. This is the thing. But we should all remain strong, focused, and resilient. Onyendu said it here in the first broadcast they played. Onyendu said, we are in a very precarious time. You have to think outside the box. We all know that we want Biafra. We cannot settle less than Biafra. We need to be donating generously. We need to remain strong. Personal mental attitude has to be applied to separate the chaff from the weed. So, my minister, I will leave it here. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Biafra. You know, when we talk of these criminals called Ejiofor, Ozekome, Ejimako, and the other one that was crying today, what's the name again? That one is still Ejiofor now. That's still another Ejiofor. All of them going in the same vein. These people become relevant through IPOB detainees. These people come to limelight through IPOB being massacred. These people come to limelight through IPOB being kidnapped. They come to limelight through IPOB that we poured acid on them, their hands tied to the back, their bodies dumped in the bush, their bodies thrown into Izu River, many of them butchered and their body parts taken away without anyone knowing where they are. Many of them taken from Biafra land and found in Niger prison. Many of them taken in Biafra land and found in Abuja and Kaduna and Kano prison, and Borno and even Benue and Sokoto. This is how all these people come to limelight, these lawyers that you see. They are empty and non-entities. Before they go to court, That is why whenever they are going to court, because since 2021 June till this time, if you don't understand what we are doing, then you will be wasting your time. The only time you see that one Nigeria will be raising their eyes like this, raise this cover of the top eye, they will raise it and open it very well, is when we enact civil disobedience. When we say sit at home of 5 days, 3 days, 4 days, and then we say Biafra Liberation Army is going to invade Battalion 103, invade Obinze Barracks, invade Enugu, invade the one in Abia, Anambra, and Oka, and the one in Akwa Ibom, the one in Ibawa. Ibawa is the biggest one that you have in Akwa Ibom. Then 406 and 106 in Cross River. When you hear that the Biafran Liberation Army are invading all these places, that is when you see that one Nigeria will be running to look back, running to look back. And when you say we are going to court, before you go to court, they have already given the script to the lawyers because the lawyers are their lawyers. We did not bring the lawyers from America. We did not bring them from Abuja. We did not bring them from Finland. We did not bring them from Cape Verde, where I am, or from Spain, or from UK, or from Italia, or Portugal. They are all domiciled in Nigeria. They grew and they breed from the Nigerian sources. They enjoy the impunity and the punity that is ongoing in one Nigerian system. They love everything because if you are not kidnapped, if you don't have a problem with one person or another, then you are not taken to court. The lawyers in one Nigeria will not have food to eat. So it's just like someone that is making casket. He's praying for somebody to die so that he will have customer to sell casket. So, so the lawyers in one Nigeria, they are one and the same thing. They are praying for one IPOB to be kidnapped, arrested, taken from Biafra land. Sometimes I come back to sit down and reason. Why is it that when they kidnap or arrest one IPOB in Biafra land, it will take our legal team 1 week before they come and start filing the case? Before they now come and start filing the case in Biafra land, they must have transferred the person from Biafra land to Abuja,
To Jigawa.
to Jigawa, to Benue, to Niger, to Borno, to Sokoto, to Kano, to Kaduna. So they now buy time. They buy time and wait for you to be transferred to where they will start working and they will make big money. So that their
And that is the one they want to, because there are many that nobody talk about.
yes. Some of them, when they will go and they tell them this is the case, they themselves will just come back and give you false story that they don't find the person, that the person is dead. That is the story they'll come back to come and give you because they understand what they are doing. So all these people, they are criminals, and it is not they are going to court that will release Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. It is not when they go to court that one Nigeria cry. It is when we do what we do that pushes one Nigeria on their blockhouse. That is when they start crying. Going to court any time or any day does not topple the economy or destroy the economy of one Nigeria. It is not going to court that makes all the big companies and the market in Nigeria to pull out. No. It is not going to court that makes the oil prices to fall and rise. No. It is not going to court that makes the refineries to stop in Biafra land. It is not going to court that makes the barracks in Biafra land to be invaded by us and take them down and destroy them. No. It is the firepower of Biafra Liberation Army. They kidnap Mazin Nnamdi Kanu so that all of you will now put all your eggs in one basket and say, oh, it was only Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. It is only Mazin Nnamdi Kanu that we need to face. So you now have to go and wait until when you see him out before you come and start again. No. That is why you must diversify You must have your plans on the table diversified. If they kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you should use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's ordeal to get Biafra with different patterns and tactics. That is what your PM is doing. So as they are keeping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu there, let them continue to keep him while we use that time to harness the Biafran pathway. When we finish harnessing it, we will hit the button that we will hit, and then we'll see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It will not take us one day, as we are here now, to press the red spot in Biafra land, and then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was released in 2015, it was this guy that is doing what's it called?
Megad.
Megad for oil that stormed and demanded in Niger Delta. They stormed and demanded in their meeting and said, if they don't release him, they are going to punch one place. Only one place. One Nigeria will start crying. They release him. So we know where to punch, and we get Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. And we know that it is not only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that we want to happen. So that is why we are allowing many things to go the way they are going. If we want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to come out very today now, it will come out. But we are laying path and foundation for the Biafran liberation. So let them keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu slowly and slowly, while we will continue to gradually destroy one Nigeria in a systematic manner. And then the legitimacy of BRGIE, Biafran Republic Government in Exile, and in the homeland will be making its way, coming out in a very streamlined. By the time you wake up someday and see that we have totally legitimized the terrorists in Biafra land, that is when you will understand what PM have been doing. All I will advise Biafrans is just follow the template. I know that everyone wants to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. For the meantime, when you have a very precious egg, you must be careful the way you open the carton. Because if you open the carton carelessly, you will break the eggs before even getting down to the eggs inside the carton. So we are trying to open the carton of Biafra, and opening it, we are opening it carefully. And we are using every other techniques to open the carton so that we don't break the egg that is inside. And it is not only to open this carton, there are many other things that are inside this carton, aside from the big egg. So we want to make use of the point of opening the carton, but end up touching all the things inside the carton and achieve their ends and objectives. That is what we want Biafrans to understand. Let them keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu while the Senate President is crying that Simon Ekpa has already taken legitimacy of Biafra land. Minister of Defense and Chief of Defense Staff is crying that Simon Ekpa has already taken legitimacy of Biafra land. Senators in National Assembly are telling you the firepower of this Biafra has instilled fear in us, and all of us are taken unaware. We did not expect it to be like this. As Fulani are coming down to Biafra land, we are opening a front for them, and they are falling into it every day. Now, be thankful to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Be thankful to Mazi Simon Ekpa, because we are here. Mazi Hugo, please go over to your video of the day.
All right, we'll move. We will listen now, because they're all not to cry.
Restructure Nigeria before 2027. But that's the call from former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Tahiru Jega, to leaders in the nation. Professor Jega, who described Nigeria as a failing state, adds that power devolution to the subnationals has become.
He said the man described Nigeria as a failing nation. A failing nation. That's but Nigeria don't fail, finish. It's no longer failing. It has fallen. Wafla.
Critical for the nation to develop. Well, this formed part of his recommendations for safeguarding Nigeria's future at the maiden combined convocation lecture of the BRGIE State University, Gado. while slamming the political leadership for what he described as reckless spending and abuse of power. The former INEC boss lamented the high cost of running the presidential system of governance in the country, which he says has become defective.
I have a section in the paper where I have clearly delineated with statistics to show how lack of these values and orientation, how
you see, say, this criminal where you put for screen here, they talk, say, one Nigeria and a nation. One Nigeria no be nation, no. Nigeria na country and na country and na contraption.
Our country.
Our country and na contraption na it be. That is one. Number two, he is telling you that the country is a failed state. Now that he is out of the position, they say former INEC chairman.
Why he is calling for restructuring?
Why was he not bold enough to speak when he was in the system? Why did he wait until when he was out of the system before he will now come back to sit down and see in the mirror that the system is failed and that the system is corrupt? You know, when you are part of the kingdom, you will adore the principle of the kingdom. You just like I said, I am Laya Muhammad of Biafra. That's what they call me, and I accept it. Because during NSAS protest, you saw that Biafrans were massacred. Yorubas were massacred. Everybody were massacred. Laya Muhammad came out and said, nobody was massacred. Because he is what? The Laya Muhammad of Nigeria. What he was doing is to protect the integrity of Nigeria. Now, the issue here is Laya Muhammad did not just lie in that only one. Laya Muhammad still went on to lie when Boko Haram had taken over 8 local governments in Borno State. They now asked Laya Muhammad a question. What is happening in Borno State? Laya Muhammad said that Boko Haram is collecting taxes in Borno State does not mean that they have taken over. That they are just exercising their power. He said, just say that they are exercising their power, but don't say that they have taken over the state and that they are in charge. Now, if you call Laya Muhammad and ask, Laya Muhammad, what is happening in Borno State? I don't know if you will have the courage to tell you.
Mazi, I get that in video here. I don't know whether you go like make a plan for you.
If you want play, I go play. I don't know if they ask Laya Muhammad now, what is happening in Borno State? Whether I will have the boldness to say, Borno State, over 8 local government has been under the control and supervision and tax collection of Fulani terrorists since 2014. And if they ask him, why didn't you bring it to the fore when you were the former minister of information, when you were the minister of information? He will say, when I was in power,
everything was fine.
I work to protect what I am told to do. I will not come out to expose anything, just like a Commodore Kunle. Commodore Kunle said that time that they granted him the interview. He said, what I'm saying now is not something that I should be saying if I am serving. But because I am out of service now, I have the right to say it, because if I am still in service, I will be sanctioned. Now, I have grown up and I don't owe anybody any excuse. I cannot lie to Nigerians again. I just have to tell you the truth.
When your truth is needless.
When your truth is needless. When thousands and millions of people have already been massacred, that is when you want to come and tell the truth. So, this Mumu where they here now, telling us that Nigeria spends so much on electoral process of presidency, even in ticket buying, electoral process, and the election madness and buying and vote buying. He was the INEC president. And then he enjoyed all the money that was thrown at him in his office. He did not for one day come out to come and say, they are giving me too much money. Oh, I'm rejecting the money. Oh. It is corruption. Oh. It is against electoral ethics and practice. Oh. But today, he's the one coming out to tell you, oh, Nigeria is this. It is good that all of you will come out to be telling us that this Nigeria is falling. It is falling. Why? Because of the firepower of Biafra. Because it is Biafra that is dragging it to the mud. Ordinarily, if now only people they drag in Nigeria, there's nothing that will happen to it because all of you are comfortable with the northern agenda. Everything in jihad, Muslim ticket is for the northern agenda, and you guys are comfortable with it. But it is what Biafrans are doing, what Biafran Republic government in Israel are doing under the leadership of Mai Simon Ekpa. What the Biafran liberation is doing. The sit at home that we are doing is what is tearing all of you apart. The unveiling of Biafran Liberation Army and every template and apparatus of the government in exile is what is shredding what Nigeria today. They find it very hard to open their mouth and acknowledge it. That is why we are very happy when Musa came out to start crying. You know, one thing I love about Musa is that Musa comes out to cry the cry that every other chief of defense staff have not cried in Nigeria before. This is the only thing I love about Musa. And if Fulani want to kill Musa tomorrow, I will stand against Fulani for killing Musa. Why? Because I love the way Fulani is using Musa to send down their foot soldiers to come into Biafra land and they are dying on daily basis. I love it. Then I love when he now comes back to confess to National Assembly, confess to international press that Simon Ekpa, hey, if you see what this guy is doing to my boys, they are very deadly. Hey,
They
my
are not
men
human
are
beings.
falling on daily basis. They are dying by the number. We are packing our men in body bags every day. These Simon Ekpa boys, they are doing it like cannibalists. Chief defense staff of a country. If some people may not understand this man, this is not like the head of navy or the head of police or the head of army or the head of air force. This is the person that is in charge of everything. He's the one to give you the Oga Bata Bata report of everything that has to do with security, protection, and defense and war in the country. So if you hear him yielding to Biafran Republic government in Israel, Biafran Liberation Army, you should understand that water don't pass Gary. Mansuko, I live and here.
Okay, make we hear your friend now as he tell you about terrorists.
What is most painful is the fact that this is being re-echoed by the media in Nigeria who want to do much better. And like I ask, when last did the Times of London took a story from the Punch in Nigeria about what is happening in the UK? About reporting or not reporting. The point is about you swallowing hook, line, and sinker a report by a foreign organization which you have not even interrogated yourself. That's my problem. That's my problem. The issue is not about whether bandits are collecting taxes here or not. No, if trust writes it, it's okay. If they have their facts, they have their figures. But that's not the same thing as saying that it's not something as saying that there's a new caliphate. Do you know how many places in this country where area boys collect taxes?
What is he is now qualifying area boys that collect levy with the
Oh my
bandits
God,
that collect tax.
Laya Mohammed. Hey,
But one thing I've been asking is this: these bandits, They have secretariats. That is, they get their local government where they get structure, building, no be that kind structure where these people they fight for where we know they see. This one a physical structure. In the morning, they go work for their office. And then somebody will come and tell us that they are fighting terrorists. They are hunting terrorists. Why you no go bomb the house? You go the bomb forest. Because all this is see they leave me in confusion. You know where they are. You know, say they get office, they collect taxes from people, they get law, they get their judicial, what they call it, Sharia law court. They get up, and you are still looking for them. Nigerians, Nigerians, I pity you now. I pity you now. Anybody by now we still they believe in lie Nigeria, because Nigeria is a lie. Everything about Nigeria is a lie. That is why you go see somebody today, go tell you say Nigeria is not existing. Tomorrow you go tell you say, let us go and build Nigeria. Somebody like a Dr. Abina San Dele Farotimi that have told you that Nigeria can never be good again. Nigeria is finished. Even if you put 20 of me the same time, they will be run over by that country because the Nigeria has rotten from foundation. Then the next time he come and tell you Obi will change for constitution. The same person that told you that the constitution can never be amended, that the only way is to go separate, everybody to go their separate ways. He's not telling you that Obi will change the constitution, and Obi has told you that he is coming to defend the constitution with all his life. This is Nigeria. Nobody sees the truth and they speak it up. They will always manipulate the truth. They will always manipulate the truth and give you lies. Carry black, give you in the name of white. Look at bandits are collecting tax. You say that is not even the important thing. The important thing is that if you want to talk about bandits, you should talk about the area boys that are collecting money. Do you see the country you are in? I pity those that are still waiting for Nigeria to be good. Those that are still praying for God to answer your prayer in renovating Nigeria, because na renovation e be, e don rotte. Na house wey don rotte, dey wait for Nigeria to for God to come and renovate your house. You dey live inside house, the house, you don see police quarters for Lagos. Police quarters for Ojuelegba, Lagos, and for Yaba, Lagos. If you see the police quarters, you go there, go see the house as e be. You tell me say you go just paint am, e go become new. No, e no fit. Or you go build new one on top. E no fit. The house don rotte, don rotte. E don rotte, don. Nigeria is gone and gone and gone. Nothing anybody can do to restructure Nigeria again. There is nothing like restructuring. Nothing. This criminal wey don comot for power say na restructure, you go restructure. Which restructure? Which you wan restructure? All of them. I pity on the Biafrans that are outside Biafra land, still fighting against this Biafra restoration. You open your TV channel or your YouTube or Facebook channel for people to come and say evil, wrong things, passing wrong information about the restoration of Biafra. Because you are in America, because you are in Canada, because you are in Norway, because you are in Switzerland, because you are in because you are in England. You are in another man's land where people have built with their blood, stopping the ones that want to build their own. Because of your foolish or wickedness, me, I don't know the one way be self. The only one thing I would tell us is that we must fight for our freedom. If we don't fight for our freedom, we don't have any freedom. Our future is gone. If Funanis can come inside our communities to kidnap people now, and it's not that they kidnap people, when they kidnap youths, they cut their necks off. They don't need your ransom. Once they get you as a youth in that village, they cut your head off. This is why it is more important when you hear sit at home, you obey the order, you obey the instruction, you sit in your house. Your nyash know they paying you to sit down. Because mostly whenever we have sit at home is when the roads, environments are dry, empty. They will come out and kidnap you. Nobody go even know say they kidnap you. They kidnapped three of them. One managed to escape to tell the story. Where are the other ones? They are gone. They are gone.
Honestly, that guy, if I see that guy, I will dash him money. Not only
It's
to
a sit at home and you are working. What are you going to do? Why must you go out on sit at home day?
he did well. He did well. If
It's
he
not, listen, I'm not concerned that Funanis kidnap them. What I want people to understand is that when they kidnap you, if you are a youth, they will cut off your head. According to that boy, they don't need your ransom. When they were trying to negotiate, they told them, we don't need your money. Take them to the place where we cut head, make we cut their head off.
Mhm.
Mazi Soninde Wojare.
I know, say, Erufai said, we know where the terrorists are.
Mm.
We listen to their telephone calls, we listen to their conversations, we know what they say, we hear everything they do, we know what they plan to go and do and where they want to go. He said, but we cannot bomb them.
Mm.
So when you said that this man said they know where they are, then they left them to go and bomb unarmed people.
Mm-hmm.
There is one thing we need to understand about this: they are unarmed people that they bomb. I know, in as much as they bomb the people, whether they were terrorists or not terrorists, or whether they were Christians or not Christians, we have to be very concerned about it. But there's something exceptional here. They have massacred over 300 and something of the Shiite Muslims in 2015. They did not carry the news to anywhere.
Mm-mm.
Even the leader of the Shiite Muslim, El Wasaka, Saki, is still there. They shot him, and then bullets enter many of his bodies that is still suffering today. Some bullets are still inside his body that they have not removed. Now, there have been series of massacre in Zamfara. There have been series of massacre in the same South Kaduna. There have been series of massacre in Borno, Sokoto, Meduguri, even Kanu, even Abuja, even Benue, even Plateau, and even Borno that we're talking about, which since 2014, there is no election held in those places. And when you say that in Borno, they even have offices, furnished offices that they use for their daily work. These are places that were built with Nigerian resources money.
They
When
took
the
it
Fulani
off.
terrorists came in and took over in 2014, they now pursue all of them out. The ones that are loyal to them, they keep them to be working for them. The ones that are not loyal, they send them away. The ones that want to prove stubborn, they kill them through away. That is, if you are not a Fulani, but if you are a Fulani, they will not kill you. You will still remain with them. So all the resources that is coming, all the revenues that you hear that they will now give a budget of 200 billion or 200 million or 200 trillion to Borno State. All those local governments under the auspices of Fulani terrorists, they allot all those money to them. Federal government allot money to those provinces where terrorists are in charge, and they send the money to them. They collect the money, they take charge of it. So we are just happy that they thought they want to massacre Biafrans alone, but God turned the tides of events. It didn't come down like this. Kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in detention. We're fighting for Biafra. And then all of a sudden, Nigeria is whiling. Nigeria is whiling and they are all complaining. All the ones that partook in the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are crying and making noise. We want the cry to continue because now only Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, and we did. We never go anywhere. Mazuko, I leave my submission here.
Okay, my dear. And I think maybe battle cry. Ada Biafra, I don't know if you want to say anything.
Yes.
Okay, battle cry. I'm going to carry on.
Okay. Okay.
Ada Biafra, hold on. Let battle cry go first.
One thing that baffles me about Zoological Republic, both educated and non-educated and political actors, is that sometimes when they talk, they don't even filtrate the words that are using because they refuse to understand that the words they're using has an implication or has an effect. What is the meaning of Nigeria is falling or Nigeria has failed? Oh no, Nigeria is a failing state. So that means what it means that these people have put in a movie, be watching how it's going, and be seeing it failing. But there are people who are already saw Nigeria failed that cannot be memorized again. That the issue of Nigeria's situation is at no mequatarism. Okay, so once he's using the word Nigeria is failing state, now channel TV, now these are the kind of things they like to to pick. That's failing, as if nobody is sure. You see, the word failing means in fact, that word is under probability. Is it failing? It's not failing. It could be failing, but it's absolutely not acceptable because you see what is going on, the way because there's no day, there's no previous day that is better than the present day. Nigeria continue to enter swamp, they be like ship where they sink, and this man came out here saying that Nigeria is a failing state. Some people who are brutal that can say it will say that Nigeria is a failed state. And this man came here to twist it. These are the kind of words China TV like because their own man, their own Jagaba is in charge of the Zoological Republic, their own Jagaba. This Fulani Atari Jaga, that is the person that brought this problem. Because when Jonathan was in power, Jonathan thought that he trusted him. Jonathan thought that that he had the fear of God. And the PDP persuaded Jonathan, sack this man, sack this man. It was even Fayose who was saying that if you sack Atari Jagaba or Atari Jaga, that heaven will not fall. Fayose, former Ekiti governor, was one persuading Jonathan that these people are evil. They have interior motives. Sack him, sack him. Jonathan was pretending that he want to be a good patriotic. He want to be a life of
the good guy.
A life of Nigeria or blood of any Nigeria is not worth to be wasted. Blah blah blah. And until A man without school certificate, without school cert, intimidated a man who read a professor in geology, intimidated him out of office. Up to today, the dead Buhari cannot prove his school cert. They cannot prove anything. After the military, his own colleagues said they don't have his own certificate in archive. That is nowhere to be found. Still, they intimidate. It was the Chibika Mechi who said if Jonathan government did not give them power, that they would create parallel government, and they were backing this guy. They were pushing him. That was when Atiku defected from PDP to APC. Atiku bribed this man. Atiku was the one who poisoned the heart of this man you are seeing on the screen, Professor Atarifu Jaga. Atiku was, because he was hoping if him and the Buhari goes to primary, that he would defeat Buhari. So he do everything till Buhari defeated him. Now killer from his eye. He now ran back to PDP again. He want to go and prove that he's a good patriot. So at the end of it, this man, the election was manipulated. He rigged it. That was when Godwin Orubebe was at the counting hall, display hall. I don't know what they call it. INEC was starting. Atari Jaga, it will not be well with you. You rig this election, blah blah blah, was causing him, raging cause on him. Atari Jagaba just maintain as if he's a gentleman, whereas he's the main crook they have in the Zoological Republic. That was when Onyendu said that your vote does not count. It is only INEC that decide their vote. That was how it ended. So this man, forget it. It's of nobody. The thing he caused, he should go and repeat. And by the time zoo break, all of them finally they will not have place. The whole citizen in that zoo will turn against them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ada Biafra, take the mic so we can round up and go.
Thank you so much. You know, my people, as we are rounding up, I have to thank you people once more. God bless every Biafran. You people should bear in mind that you are wonderful people. You are like gold and diamond all at a time. Everything happening in Nigeria today stemmed from their evil eyes against the Igbos, starting from Saduana of Sokoto. You people heard when somebody, a white man, was interviewing him. He was talking, the man asked him, what do you have against the Igbos? And he said that the Igbos, we are very monopolistic anywhere we come. But he failed to tell the man that they came from Sahel to come and settle in Nigeria or to settle in that country, because we already are Biafrans, Oduduwa, and the other one. What are they called? What is this Hausa? Arewa, yeah, Arewa nation. We even Tafawa Balewa was reluctant to join. It was Zik who persuaded him because he doesn't like the Igbos. But you are a visitor and you are causing people who own the land. So when people are fighting you front and back, you have no choice than to defend yourself. And I want us to remember that defense, self-defense, and violence are two different things. We are not violent people. Some people will say, oh, I don't like the way you are doing it. How else do we do it? Because I was listening to Abaribe being interviewed by one of these Gota Zoo medias. He said that Igbos is like they are divided into two. Some people, the youths want it now to go. And some people are like saying, let's wait and see. There is nothing we are waiting to see, because this emanated from the beginning. Even before 1960, they have started buying people in the north, all their leaders. All of you should remember that since this amalgamation in 1914, real Hausa man has never ruled Nigeria. It had always been the Fulanese. And what their forefather told them is what they are doing now. So when do you think that they will stop? Because everything we are saying here boils down to let people understand that Biafra is our only exit route. Because even if we talk from now till next year, it is still the same thing. There is no how anybody can turn back time with these people. And the plan they had, when you listen to that leaked conversation between Shetima then when he was governor and one Mr. Kunle, he said, we have plan on ground. We have plan on ground. All this Igbo business, we will be doing it. Igbos will not be relevant in Lagos anymore and will not be relevant in Southeast. That's what they demonstrated by demolishing all the houses. You can imagine how much those people spent. If they had brought that money to join Biafra struggle, we would have had Biafra a long time. Rather, instead of Iwanyan endorsing what Ojukwu said, because when Ojukwu went there, Ojukwu blamed them for developing their enemies' land. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu also blamed them. But Iwanyan is telling them, you people should remain there. So even if they are killing them, let them remain there. If anybody from watching us now is from those businessmen in Lagos, you people should know that you can sponsor this Biafra coming. And once Biafra comes, you all know what will happen. You know? And those of them who always tell our prime minister, why don't you come back? Let me tell you people that when Hitler was terrorizing the whole Europe, Charles de Gaulle came to UK and he was a commander-in-chief of armed forces in France, and he was giving order from France until the war ended and he went back. The same thing with Ayatollah Khomeini of Iran. He ran away. So we are not the first. Look, Czechoslovakia used to be in USSR. They did not fight any war because they are civilized people. They splitted quietly. When they splitted from USSR, Slovakia people said, Czech, we can no longer be with you, no more Czechoslovakia. So Czech went on their own separate way. Slovakia went on their own separate way. That's what we are fighting to do. Because Nigeria, geographically and naturally, is too big. It has shown that no one man can rule Nigeria. No man, anybody that saw what they did to P2B, who won landslide, will understand that these people don't want us to raise our head. They don't. And look at what they are doing to our Onyendu. So for those of you who are still in doubt, you don't have to be. There's a video of Onyendu I was listening to. He said that Ebelako asked his children, oh, has it not first, just once. So we don't have to wait until all these things that will continue to happen to us. Because if we have our nation today, all this kidnapping will stop. It will stop automatically, because if we see them and we catch them, it will be a retributive justice. Nobody will go to court with them. So we are not naturally violent people. We are only defending ourselves. Because some people always mixes it up. You people are violent. We are not violent. It is what they said in the Bible, that kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and by violence he taketh it by force. You have to defend yourself. After all, when we started IPOB, we were waving flags. We had no stick, no arrow, no knife, no gun. But they have induced us, pushed us to the wall. So we need this contribution. That's what we are going round and round to tell so many people that has that money. We have people like Obi Kubana. We have P Squared. We have E-Money. We have so many millionaires in Biafra land. Look at somebody like Akpabio, a whole Senate president, celebrating his 61st birthday in a field. And now he later collapsed. You know, they lie about their age, but that is not our business. So is this the kind of people we want to be with? We don't need it. We have suffered enough during the war, after the war, till now. So we need to get Biafra, settle down, build our nation, and live in peace. So my people, I'm going to leave you here. Ndị Igbo si na atụọla ọmal, atụkwa n'ofeke, ofere tinye isi n'ọfịa. Mana ebelieve m na Igbo be anyị na anyị nwere uche, anyị ma ife, anyị dị precious, anyị dị very golden. Chukwu fụrụ anyị n'anya. Don't let Fulanis use you or to sabotage your people, because after sabotaging them, they will never like you. They will never like you. And onye gburu nwanne abụrụ odogwu at all, because that person you are killing your brother for will never trust you. I will leave it here. God bless you all for joining us, and you have a very good evening. Thank you, my minister, Biafra 247. Thank you, my brother, Battle Cry, and my minister, Sonia Akbarawa. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, my dear.
BIAFRANS, we will meet tomorrow. Now, good night from here.
Good night.
Ordinary $1 was a problem. $1 became a problem. Can't you afford $1? Because you can't let you neighbor in a month. You can't afford $1? You can. Why not? Because Fulani people are laughing at us. They are counting on that thing you have inside you, that destructive demonic spirit to question and to argue everything. That's what they're counting on, to colonize and enslave us. Always. When they speak, they say, we know you can never be united. We know. Only $1 only. Is it going to kill you? No. Nothing. No $1. You're not in IPOB.
BIAFRANS all over the world. Let us continue to support Eastern Security Network and Biafra Liberation Army. Every day they stand in the gap to defend us and only need our support to do the work they do. For the safety, security, and freedom of our communities. Let us do this together. Go to www.ipobinUSA.org/DONATE. Also go to www.biafrarepublicgov.org/DONATE, where you can pay your liberation tax. We also accept donations on PayPal and Zelle. Just use the email address biafragov.org@gmail.com. For those in USA, we also accept donations or Cash App at $BIAFRAGOV. Freedom is not free, and together we restore it.